Recording.
This is the yep.
Are you going to do the intro?
I thought you were gonna do it.
I never do it. You always do it. Sean gets all mad if he doesn't get to do it. So
You just interrupted me,
go ahead.
jerk. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this is the Houston and Sean show coming at you. It's been a little while. Houston's had a lot of progress in his life. He had a
No,
dog named Ivy. He's getting promoted potentially. He's doing the do with all sorts of women around
no, I'm
Philadelphia.
not. My professional life is thriving. My personal life is in tatters.
Well, explain yourself.
I'm just very bitter at the world right now. But I
Houston's
may or may not be getting a promotion at work. I'm training for a month. Uh, I was living with my girlfriend and her two kids, and then she broke up with me, and I'm very bitter about it. But I don't want to spend the whole top podcast talking about that. And I don't want to talk about it at all. But I just want to say that I'm bitter at the world. My I can't make my cartoons anymore, so my social media fame is not where it was. I know it's going to come back, but it's just everything in my life sucks. And I'm bitter at the world. I'm bitter at the government. I'm bitter at everything.
What's the best thing in your life?
When I get home from work and I lie down in bed and watch television.
And it's Houston for you, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, it sucks. Before uh I always wanted to do one of these podcasts in my new apartment.
Yeah.
Um, so maybe next time we do it, I'll get to do it because I'm not sure if I'm gonna leave yet or not. Um, but that's not interesting to talk about. But yeah, so I'm back here at my mom's again.
Just to pivot a little, I just want to address the individual viewer and make sure they know that underneath all those clothes, they are butt naked.
I wrote a poem about that kind of recently.
How'd it go?
I don't remember. I'd have to look at it. But yeah,
Hey,
basically, it's like the old saying, when someone would tell you if you're on stage, just pretend everyone in the audience is naked.
yeah,
Because basically, all that's keeping us from not being naked are clothes. We're basically born naked, and someone came up with this whole concept of clothes, and that's what keeps us from looking like buffoons.
it's true. Who's clothing? What was the first one? We have clothes for our hat or for our heads. I have this clothes. This is my clothes. It says Under Armour, but it's not. It's Over Armour.
Podcast emergency, podcast emergency. We gotta save this. We gotta save this. We gotta pivot from Sean's hat. How do we do this, everybody? Just make up a new topic. I don't know. I can't come up with a topic on the fly.
Just be Gerf.
Uh, I'm so tempted to buy that beard and wig again and be Gerf again. I
You
am.
need to be Gerf. You need to be Gerf.
I feel like I'm too old. I feel like that chap. I started a Gerf Gersten Instagram account and where I just am uploading the old Gerf videos, and I'm just doing that for myself to have them in one place. And it kind of makes me miss it, but I don't know. I feel like I'm too old to do certain things now. Too old to have fun and enjoy life anymore, you know?
You're,
What?
you're over the hill.
Yeah, but nobody knows that Sean always does this. He's so focused on our ages and calling me old and and we're not over the hill. We're young. We're still young.
I'm just a little chubby right now, and I gotta be honest, I am a little bit overweight. I spent a year in law school and gained some weight.
How do you
Gained
think
some
that
weight.
happened?
It's just you're stressed out.
Yeah.
And so, like, you take a break from studying and you go eat all of the rice. You don't eat like your share of the rice. You just eat all of the rice. Stuff like
Yeah, and I
that.
thought rice was, I guess that is rice fattening?
I guess so. Yeah, there's definitely some nutrients in it, but
Do you drink soda?
no, I
Okay.
don't.
That's good. It's just a lack of exercise.
Yeah, I think a little, but I'm gonna get back into it this summer. I guess I'll share a moment of law school. So in the first semester, I hit like this hellacious, like having final exams in law school is really nerve-wracking because I've spent all this money and time to like do this, and you only have one shot,
You
which is
only
your
got one
final
shot.
exam.
This is your chance to go ahead.
So I went into a panic anxiety attack um, first semester where I ended up for like 2 days being a total bum on the side of the road, like lost my mind, gone from this world, except for my body.
Were you outside having a
I was
discussion?
I was like locked out of my apartment, so I was just wandering the streets like a bum.
Why were you locked out of your apartment?
I lost my keys in the thick of it.
I thought maybe like you got locked out by somebody or something. Um,
No, I think Garrett just was living his life. He locks his apartment. It wasn't Garrett's fault, for sure. I
mhm.
like Garrett. He's my roommate.
Garrett is
But
Sean's roommate.
like so anyway, so that happened because I did really poorly on what's called civil procedures. And then I went into the next test in an anxiety attack, having spent some time on the streets. And it was like I walked in there and I went to the bathroom beforehand, and my pupils were so big, like huge. There was no iris left, and I took the test and I couldn't. I should have been taking. I should have always taken it in like the special environment where they like put you by yourself. It would
Mhm.
have always been better, but I did not do that. Uh, and so I failed torts, even though I don't feel like I would have failed it under normal circumstances. I did, in fact, fail it under these circumstances. Like 3 out of 150 points. I mean, I didn't even read the questions. I really don't believe that I was a person in there. I just sort of was a thing. I was a thing over there.
So this lasted for 2 days, you said.
So I had the civil procedures on Tuesday, and then on Friday morning, I went in and failed torts because from Tuesday to Friday, I was having like an anxiety attack.
Oh, for 2 days.
Yeah, well, Wednesday and Thursday and Friday. And then I called my parents and I was like, you know what? I'm going to just walk the country instead of doing anything.
Mm.
They were like, you're not going to walk the country.
That sounds like you. That sounds
I'm
like
gonna
someone.
walk the. It's like they're on to me. I'm gonna walk whoever they are, probably my school. We're just gonna walk the country. I give up. And so My dad flew into Boise, Idaho, and saved the day. He calmed me down. I was like here,
Mhm.
and he just brought me back to here.
So Sean was up here and he brought him back to normal, which is here, and I'm always here.
Yeah, you're like that.
Yeah. Sean's
You're
always
like
at
flip.
11, but when he was having his anxiety attack, he was at 17. Well, I don't know what your anxiety attacks are like, but that sounds scary. And I'm glad your dad came out to calm you down. Um, yeah, because that's like Yeah. So what are you
I mean,
doing now
basically,
to keep yourself from getting stressed out like that?
well, I did sign up for the testing that's beneficial. Like they just put you in your little corner. You can just do it by yourself. Makes me
Right.
feel better. They give me a little bit more time too, which is really nice. It's called, yeah, it's like a disability. It's like ADHD, like help.
Hmm. Which I
Because
think is
I don't
fair.
necessarily think that I'm not smart enough for this, but if I had to test all the time in those environments, I might not be able to do it. But they do have like this option where I can kind of like do it where it would work for me. And a lot of people do what I'm doing. You know, they choose the option
Hmm.
to do that. You know,
That's
if
fair.
they've yeah. So, but it totally sucks, and I have not gotten my grades back from this semester, but they have to be amazing grades, or I have to repeat year one, which sucks. But I'm gonna repeat year one.
Well, how do you think you're going to do?
I think I'm gonna do a lot better than the first, but I don't know if I'm gonna do as well as I needed to keep going.
Right. So you'll probably end up, you think you're going to repeat the first year?
Yeah, I think I might have to because I got put on academic probation the first semester from what happened. It sucks, you know, and well, I don't want to be like a pity party, but you cannot change your course after it's happened. So you can be in like in a serious anxiety attack where you're not super functional, and afterwards you're screwed. That's all you get. That's the only chance you get was the chance where you were having an anxiety attack. And I honestly had never had an anxiety attack quite like this. And I just think honestly, I just think it's part of life. All men sort of this is my belief. I believe that all men have like these moments where it's like them against the power the powers that be, and it almost doesn't matter what the fuck their situation is. I don't know if I'm but they just have to go through it. And I felt like I did that. It wasn't, I don't know. I don't know if I totally related to law school. Just at 39 years old, I felt like so many people had called me a failure. And I just had honestly built up this great belief that that was true.
Who called you a
And that,
failure?
well, my ex wife's family, you know, I've dealt with them for a long time.
And they
You
called
know,
you a failure?
that's basically how they look at me.
Why?
I don't know. But yeah, like
Well,
people like that.
well,
And then,
nobody should ever call you a failure. In
well, they
fact,
don't call it, I'm just saying that's how they treat me. But, and then, you know, after my divorce, I was at a job that hated me. So I just felt really crappy about all of me. And I think that aided in the fact that I really couldn't test in the environment I was in. And I don't think I really grasped the subjects as well as I needed to going into the test. There's a lot of, I feel like there was a lot that was sort of against me in the first semester tests.
mhm.
But anyway, the second semester went really well, I think. Like at least passable, you know. I don't know, C's, B's, but I had to get like A's. So I don't know. Maybe A's. Who knows? I tried my hardest, you know.
Well, I have a
That is like the
coworker.
most downer story ever.
Well, my whole life is downhill right now. I don't want to get into it, but I have a coworker who's 19. He's the youngest person working at my job. And he said that kids in school nowadays, they don't even give them books anymore. They do everything on a laptop. And he said everybody just uses AI to cheat. And he said it's the easiest thing in the world to do. He said, I passed high school just from using AI. And I'm like looking at him and I'm like, this is the future of our country. Like kids are graduating high school and a lot of them don't know how to read.
because they felt like it would be easy to use AI. But the problem is that AI creates these fake, they create these fake cases. And so they got caught because they used these cases that didn't exist.
So that happened at your school.
Yeah, a couple of people got caught with AI.
Why go to school if you're not going to learn anything? Like, what, are they just doing that for their parents? Like, why
I think
bother?
so. I think that's a big motivator is the parents.
Oh,
Like
parents suck.
I'm in a class where like I am easily 15 years older than most people.
Hmm.
If, or more. I don't know. It's kind of sad. I don't know. I feel very separate. And I'm like, and I feel there was one classmate who targeted the crap out of me because I was separate. And I know I've talked to you about this person, and I don't want to go into much detail.
Well, now I'm getting pissed off. Who is this person?
It's just a woman that
You should punch her.
it's just really hard, right? Because like I just felt like I was trying to be nice to everybody, and she saw that as a way to like sort of like have me as like a pet or like a puppet on a string.
Well, don't be nice to her
No,
anymore.
she did in the end. She was extremely mean in an interaction, and I took that as an excuse to like never talk to this person again.
Did you tell
This
her
is like
off?
really sad. This is a downer. This should be the downer episode.
Did you tell her off?
No, I just sort of just dropped it.
You got to tell her off.
No, I'm gonna drop it. She'll get the hint.
But she's not. I'll tell her off for you.
What's he to do?
I have a lot of the people I work with are kind of all over their place age wise, but I found that the younger kids who are like in their 20s and mid 20s are the ones that gravitate to me more because I don't know if it's because I'm immature or because I'm younger than I look. Um, and I do feel out of place sometimes talking to them, but I feel like because I spend so much time on social media in a way that most people my age don't, that I'm like sort of hip to the lingo and what's going on, but I don't know.
I sort of took 14 years of my life, so I do
What did
sometimes.
you cut out? What took 14 years of your life?
Being a Mormon.
Okay.
So I minus 14 years from my age,
Hmm.
and that's what I consider my age to be
I think that's
because
accurate.
they stole my life
Hmm.
for 14 years.
I feel the same way. I basically missed out on my 20s because I was drunk and on drugs. So I feel like those 10 years, I minus 10 years.
Yeah.
So
So I'm actually 25.
yeah, that's how I feel.
I have it's been a weird journey, I don't have a group of friends here in Boise, but I do have children. So I stay around here because of that. But I mean, I sort of have made a life, like in the sense that I did go to law school. So that is an achievement. I mean, I feel like, that's a big thing that not everybody is going to do is like put everything on the line and go to law school. But, um, when I got divorced, I left that church. And that was all I had for 14 years. I had those people, you know.
Why didn't you
That was
stay?
well, I don't believe it. I just don't believe, and neither do you, and neither does my parents.
No, I don't believe it. But I was never a
But,
church
but
person
it's
at all.
but it's not just yeah, it's almost like Christian religions are sort of Christian religions are sort of unusual to me, but they are. I get it. It's fine. It's normal. But like Mormon is Christian, but it's just weirder. It's weirder. So like I already think that the Christian faith is weird, but then I mean I get it sort of. Like we like a higher power, you know. We aren't always in control, like things like that. That makes sense. But like sort of like the idea of like a story from back in the day where somebody like forces water to part or something like I
Like,
just don't believe it.
I don't
What?
believe it either. Why doesn't that happen now? Is my thing. It's like, so all that stuff happened back then, but it can't happen anymore. Like, what happened?
Right.
All the magic stopped?
Well, for Mormons, it's like, no, they did. It's still going, just in the woods, and you didn't see it. But like,
Sounds silly to me, but okay.
so like all these, things that happened back then are like, in the Mormon stories, it like is happening right now or whatever, or back
Just they just hide
200,
all of it, is what they're saying. It's
it's
just
like
hidden in the woods.
200 years ago instead of like 1,000 or whatever. So, or 2,000, but, or or maybe even 3,000. Like anyway, so it happened like 200 years ago. This guy like finds these golden plates, and
Yeah, I know.
it's hard for me, Houston, because it's like I don't mind like because faith is not really supposed to be like did this happen?
Right.
It's like supposed to be that it's like a part of our mind that like needs to have like something that's not just like concrete. I
Hmm.
think I think that's why religion makes sense. But I think I was burned. I was burned by my divorce. So it's like I don't think that the Christian religions are that much different than Mormons.
I don't think
I
so
mean
either.
it's all crazy.
The coffee thing is the difference to me. Like I remember when you were Mormon, I asked you one time, I was like, why can't you drink coffee? And you were like, hey, Houston, I don't want to talk about it. I just can't drink coffee. Okay, I just can't drink coffee. That's what you said. And I was like, all
Yeah,
right.
and then I would sneak coffee. This would be like me. I'd be like,
Or
I'd
like
like be,
when we were on
I'd be
our road
sneaking
trip,
it.
we went crazy because of the snowstorm and you pulled over and had a cigar.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and then like pornography, which is like, okay, I get it, it's not good, but it's also like if you like talk about it all the time about how bad it is, you're obsessing over that issue.
Hmm.
But how about all of the like, I don't know, kids that die from war? That's also not a good thing on earth.
No, it's not. And America is the only country where violence is okay in the media, but sex is like, oh, careful. Oh, you can't show that on TV. It's 2026 and we can't see a woman's breasts on television. Babies see them all the time.
So I felt burning alone, right? So I go back to law school. It was like something to do. And I'm like a hermit in my law school little world. I like plug in, right? Like, I have all my learning stuff. And I'm like learning alone, like for like the whole year, Houston. It's weird. It's like we want, I don't know if it's necessary or not, but we want like an social interaction. I think that's like
I
a
don't.
very well, yeah, you do.
I don't
Like
really though.
even if it's a even if it's a prostitute, like who cares? It's just something. Somebody talking to you because you're interesting, and you talking to them because they're interesting.
Well, I've been in and out of a relationship for 4 years, And I basically used that as an excuse to not talk to anybody else. I was like, if I had this girlfriend who means a lot to me. I don't need to be around guy friends. And then, like, when we moved in together, that was another excuse for me to be like, I don't have time for anybody else. That was my excuse for, like, not hanging out with other people because I just don't want to anymore. I, I'm just very bitter. And I just, my coworkers, that's my social life, kind of.
So my classmates sort of are too, except we don't see each other out of class and we're like not friends, but they're still my social life.
Yeah,
They
it's
just
like
don't know it.
a lot of my time at work is spent with these coworkers, a lot of them who are younger than me, and we spend a lot of time joking around and talking about philosophy and all that stuff. And I'm done. When I get home, I don't want to see anybody else. Like I that's just how I am. And then I spent so much time with Melanie that when we broke up, which like a couple weeks ago, now I don't know I have anybody to except for you because I spent so much time with her and now like we're talking sporadically, but like it's just the life just sucks.
Say it once.
And
He
the
said,
worst thing is I haven't told my family or my coworkers about it. So they keep asking me how things are going, and I have to lie and be like, "Oh,
"So
everything's
probably
fine." All right, sorry everybody, we had a technical difficulty right at the high point of our show. We're talking about how life sucks, and so we're back to recording. And Sean suggested that we pivot to a more corny and cheesy direction. And I said, no, I'm not doing that. So now he's got this bear thing on his face to compensate for how
it's
depressing.
beautiful.
What?
Life is beautiful, kids."
No, we were going to just leave the episode the way it was and have that be the ending. But then we were like, well, I guess we have to end it on a positive note, even though that's not realistic to life. Um,
I wanted, as you were like, because
this
we
isn't
didn't,
this isn't what you're doing is it's fine. You can be a bear all you want, but it's not going to fix anything. It's not going to it's not funny, first of all. It's you're just lying right now.
wait, hold on. I guess I'll get rid of it. Hold
No,
on.
leave it on. You can leave it on.
Okay, fine. Well, anyway, our plan was originally, the
See,
screen
now it's
shut out,
funny.
the screen shut out, and I thought we should just have it end on Houston griping and it cutting us off. And then it could just be like a smiley face right in your face. I thought that was hilarious. Just like if we just added like a smiley a face emoji.
We can still
It's,
do that. This is going to take a long time to upload now because we're going to have to combine both of these videos. But um,
we should add some fake. What were those videos that you used to recommend for my music videos? They were royalty free.
oh yeah, the royalty free. There's channels you can go to now where you can get royalty free footage, which you don't need anymore because of AI. But Sean and I made a music video with it, and he was obsessed with the royalty free, and we basically used that to finish the music video. And Sean, every 3 seconds, he'd be like, "Oh, I found another cloud video. Oh, this cloud video is cooler. Oh, look at this cloud video." So we had like 10 videos of clouds going back and forth. It was a good time.
It's right after law school ended. And it was fun. And they're very nice. They're very giving
Who?
people. My folks, my mom and dad, right?
Okay, how do we pivot to this?
It's just it's what's on my mind.
Okay, just kind of a weird transition. Like it
It's
just
what's on this bear's mind. I wanna state this. So one like the second morning I'm there, they're like, "Give us your finger." And so they prick it and they test my blood sugar, and it's not good, right? Because like law school was stressful, so I overate a lot. And so, yes, right now, my body is not like in shape at all. It's just it's not a good thing, right? But it's like, I'm aware that I'm like not in a good bot, like I'm not fit. I'm aware that I'm not fit. And I think I was probably pretty aware that sugar stuff was going wrong, right? But anyway, so I thought I would mention that. And so, it was a lovely vacation, but in many ways, I had to hear about how I was going to get diabetes like every day of that trip as we did fun things. I had to hear about that and also about how my mind is like not correct. So really there's no part of me that is good. My brain isn't good, my body's not good. What's good? Nothing.
well, this is not a good way. We were trying to finish this off on a more positive note, and we're not doing a good job.
But I'm going to grow my beard out and I'm going to get into immense shape because of what happened over like, the first semester. I wasn't able to like figure out what to do during the summer. So instead, I'm just going to get into immense shape.
The beard looked so good on you. I don't know why you just don't keep it. Like you look fine
Well,
without it, but like you looked so much more manlier.
I'm
It
going
really
to,
suited you.
in fact, I've started thinking
You could
if
start now. I can't grow a beard because
I did start. It's my, it looks like a 5 o'clock shadow, but it's actually the beginning of my beard.
I can't grow a beard, so I'm jealous. My whole life since I was a teenager, I was like, I can't wait till I can grow a beard. I can't. I physically can't.
You need more testosterone, probably, or something.
I don't know if I should say this on the podcast, but yes, I can say it. I took steroids for a 3 month cycle. This was during COVID,
Yeah.
and it didn't make any of my facial hair better.
So it's not that. What?
It's
Well, you do have
genetics.
like you just look like a
I have Native American genetics that, they can't grow facial hair very well.
you sort of Hispanic with your facial hair, which is fine.
Well, more Native American than Hispanic. Um,
Fine.
I think they can grow theirs out fine, but Native Americans can't, and my dad couldn't. So it's a genetic thing. I have plenty of testosterone, okay?
So became a bear.
Anyway, yeah, so we just wanted to let everybody know that we're fine. Uh, everything's okay. So on my social media, I've been really getting into poetry, like heavy into it. It's what I love doing now, as opposed to cartoons. So I just do it. I don't care that people want to see the cartoons. And where's the Ronald cartoons? But the poems are sometimes depressing and dark. That's just what I like to write about. And people are constantly like, "Are you okay? Are you okay? Is everything all right?" And I'm like, "Listen, the poems aren't going to get any less dark and depressing. So, I mean, this is how the world is. Sometimes you got to talk about what's bothering you, you know?"
I saw Norm Macdonald say this thing once. He passed away from cancer, I think, right?
Yeah. He's my favorite comedian.
So he said once, I don't know how you people are so surprised that somebody's suicidal. It's like, what are you living in a bunch of cotton candy? Like, it was, and then he said, like, he said for him, life just kept getting harder as he got older. Like it just kept getting harder and harder.
Hmm.
Like,
Yeah, well, it's true. And
yeah,
plus,
I've never been that, but like he said, it's like life can sometimes really suck. I mean, it's just true.
especially now, a lot of people are unhappy because of the way the world's heading. Um, and I don't want to keep making this depressing and a downer, but I can't help it. You know, with AI and social media, like young kids aren't really socializing like they used to. Um, like they don't even when they go to join, nobody's finding work anywhere. It's really hard to find work now. Everything is expensive and everything is just getting worse and worse and worse. And now they're building all these data centers for AI that are just completely taking all of our water resources. And nobody is stopping any of it because they know what to do is to go on social media and whine about it because nobody knows how to like make change. And I don't know, it's depressing times for a lot of people.
Where like my job only happens because somebody has messed up their life so bad, and I feel bad for those people. Honestly, I feel bad for those
Because they
people.
fucked their lives up and now they need your help to.
Yeah, that's the only way I'm gonna get employment is by because people will mess up their lives. It's almost like an inevitability that somebody is gonna mess up their life so badly
I
that I'm gonna
remember,
get a
yeah, I
job
remember
first.
sitting with my lawyer when I got my DUI, and I was just sitting right next to him. And, we were about to go in, and this other lawyer comes, sits down to talk to him, and they're talking, and he's like, "Hey, what you got going on today?" And he's like, I just got this DUI case with this guy. He's not going to get off at all. It's like he's saying this when I'm sitting right next to him. He's like, "Yeah, he's basically fucked." And I'm just like, I'm right here, dude. You can at least pretend like I'm not fucked. Lawyers.
Just used to this. Hilarious. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry that
Seriously, I was
happened.
sitting right next to him. Like, oh my God, come on.
Yeah, we should tell the story of Dave. Why not talk about Dave? Maybe he wouldn't want that. We should respect that.
I don't think he'll want that, but I don't think anyone who watches this will know who he is.
Yeah, I don't think there's like 3 trillion, there's like 3 billion Daves on this planet.
I feel like that could be a topic for like a whole podcast because I have a
Yeah.
lot to say about that. Um,
Really,
he's still in there. That's all I know.
like, so when seventh grade, I think it was seventh grade came around and you got friends with him, right? Seventh,
Yeah,
was it? I was jealous, like beyond. I was so mad that he was a person.
that I had another friend.
Yeah, I was
Oh
so mad
yeah,
at him.
but yeah, I know you told me this years later, and I was like, really? Like when you had other friends, I didn't get jealous.
Yeah, 10th grade. It took a while.
No, you had other friends.
This is what happens when you're so antisocial that you'll wear a bare face for an entire podcast. But I don't know. Yeah, I don't know, Houston. Yeah, I have friends. It's true.
There was the one kid I didn't like him.
James Gervin. Is that who you were gonna say?
Who?
James
Yeah, James
Gervin.
Gervin. I hated that kid.
That's because he was the Antichrist.
I know, but
Like,
he was like your friend, and all of a sudden he started going. Sean and I went to different high schools, um, and James Gervin was like your friend or something, and he started going to my high school and like wanted to be my friend because I knew was friends with you. And he was mean. He was a fucking bully. There was this kid one time just sitting by himself playing the guitar, just by himself. And James
yeah,
Gervin just goes, playing the fucking guitar, kick your fucking ass. What you gonna do about it, punk? And he's like, yo, what's up, Houston? And I'm like, dude, I don't want to hang out with you. if that's how you treat people. Like when I was a teenager, I was trying to be an edgy badass. I tried, but like I didn't want to be like that guy. Like he just scared me, and I didn't want to be his friend, and he kept following me around trying to be my friend because it was your fault.
The first story I tell James is when I was like in second grade with James. I remember he was running down the hill, and he never used to tie his shoes. Right, like it was like he would never have his shoes tied ever. So he was running down the hill, and he tripped and fell on his face. Right, like on the street. And I remember he was like cussing at his shoelaces. It's like, dude, it's not it's not the shoelaces' fault. They're inanimate.
Yeah,
It's your fault that you
that
didn't tie your shoe. But
again, I didn't
it's
get to know him very well, but that sounds like him. That sounds like
honestly that's a little bit of the way the world works. And I don't fault it. You know, if we need to blame an inanimate object, okay. But is it but seriously, even though we do that, it doesn't really make a lot of sense to blame something, but it's fine. It's fine. But it's just being human. I honestly think that's a part of being human is we try to figure out what to blame
yeah,
if
but
we're at
I
fault.
understand yelling at a computer when it's not working right, but yelling at shoelaces, that's totally your fault. That is not the shoelaces' fault at all.
Right.
Like you didn't tie them.
Yeah. No, the reason he fell down was because of himself. But you can't blame yourself. Like it's human nature to like want to blame others. It's like
Of course it is.
that's like what we're all about.
That's the human way. Because humans are terrible and awful and we're destroying the planet.
It's so true.
Yeah, I when I think about the way the world's going, it's really depressing to me.
But you
And
know what? I cannot believe this, but we have I cut little slats for my ears. But you and I have been friends for 30 years. That's amazing, Houston. Like that just doesn't happen a lot.
yeah,
I was
yeah.
people just leave each other all the time. You and I have stuck together for 30 years.
Yeah, it makes me wonder why like all the other friends that I've made through the years, why they didn't stick around.
I think
Like,
yeah, I don't know. I think one thing is that I'm absolutely like one of your fans. I think that's a big thing. Is like I'm not just your friend, but I'm actually a fan. I think that happened with my band too when I was growing up, you know. I was first a fan. I wasn't in the band, but then I got in the band. But before anything, I think for in order for a friendship to last at least as long as it can, you have to really like you have to really be a fan of like that other person, you know?
yeah, I agree. I agree.
You remember the pineapple scene in basketball?
Oh yeah.
That
We
was a
watched
great
that
scene.
a
You
million
love that
times.
scene.
I haven't watched that in a while. I'd like to watch it as an adult and see if
You
I
were
can.
like, he's a pineapple. Could
I
you
might
just
watch that
stop it?
tonight. I might watch that
Could you
tonight.
just listen to could you just listen to yourselves?
And then they like jump on the thing and he ends up flying in the air. Yeah, I'm gonna see if I can watch that because that will make not because I think it's funny. It probably is not funny at all anymore, but nostalgia. I haven't seen it since you and I watched it like a million times back in the day. Yeah.
Beautiful scene. I could probably watch it in my head. I don't even need the TV. I can just watch it by making it up in my head.
Yeah, it's a great movie. Trey Parker and Matt Stone don't like it though. They've been interviewed about it many times, and they're like, we were kind of in our rock star phase, and we thought the movie had a lot of derp jokes. And I was like, I thought it was pretty funny. Like, it's one of those like Lethal Weapon. I'm not. I'm a what is it called? Naked Gun type of movies where it's a spoof movie. They're supposed to be stupid, and I think they did a good job at it.
Yeah.
I can't hear anything you're saying anymore.
Yeah.
You sound like oh,
Is it still that way, or can you hear me now?
I can hear you now, but I need to go get dinner. I think we need to end the podcast.
What
But
should we say?
we need something positive for God's sakes, because something happy.
Okay, men, remember to go down on your women. It's really important.
It is.
Grow a beard and go down on. Is that positive?
That's very positive, and it's good advice because I didn't do it for years because I was afraid of doing it because I thought I would be bad at it. And then when I did do it, I was told I was very good at it. So now I do it a lot, ladies. I go down on the town.
Yes. On the
And
rose of love.
Sean, you cannot hear him, but he goes down on the town too, ladies.
The music. Holy crap. It's embarrassing. All right. We love you, ladies, and some guys too.
I'm looking for the stop button.